When you look at our pilgrims today in our society, people think of buckles and turkey, totally irrelevant to the pilgrim story. The pilgrim story is a story of faith, and it's very deep, and it's a story of the founding of our country. When the pilgrims originally came to Plymouth, their economic situation was communal, which means everybody on the plantation worked in the same field and grew their food, and at the end of the season they simply evenly split with each other what they produced. Sounds fair enough, and of course it didn't work. The reason, if you and I both went out in the field to work, you worked hard and I did not, well, I'd still be paid what you were paid. There was no reward for hard work. 102 came on the Mayflower, 51 died the first winter. The first 3 years, they all almost starved to death. Why? They didn't produce, there was no incentive. But from 1623 on, they never had a problem. What changed? The way they did business. In 1623, Governor Bradford changed to land ownership. Now every family owned their own land, grew their own food, and fed themselves. Then they simply traded with each other what they had left over. We call that free trade. That worked. They never had a starving day after that. They tripled their production. There was one little bump in the road. They had a drought. That lasted 2 months. Now when you come to Plymouth, you'll see Plymouth Plantation. You'll see a river and Hobbamock's village, the Indian village, right next to each other. They're having a drought. Hobbamock got the medicine men out, got them dancing. Nothing happened. On a Wednesday in July, Governor Bradford turned to his people and he said to them, we're going to get on our knees and we're going to ask God what we've done wrong. And they began to pray on that Wednesday morning. There was not a cloud in the sky, 90 degrees. Noontime, nothing. 4 in the afternoon, not a cloud. 6 in the evening, a little cloud right above Plymouth Plantation. And by 8 o'clock, it began to rain. And I do not mean a rain we're used to in Plymouth, a nor'easter where everything gets knocked down. A gentle rain fell on Plymouth Plantation and on Hobbamock's village for 2 weeks. And those crops were saved. Someone turned to William Bradford and said, what is it you talk to God about? And he said, well, you know what? Maybe we were no longer humble. Maybe we thought that triple of production was us, our idea, not God's. And at the end of those 2 weeks, Hobbamock came off that hill, walked across our river, up the other hill to William Bradford, looked him straight in the eye, and he said, Governor, I like your God. He saved my crops. And Hobbamock became a Christian. So when we talk about the Pilgrims, their economy and anything else they did, if you ask them, what is the Pilgrim economy? I believe they would say to you, it's not ours at all, it's God's. All we need to do is follow. And that's where miracles come from.